Good morning, everybody, and Jai Gurudev. Well, a warm welcome to Dr. Ghosh, Sharda ma'am, our coordinators. It's my pleasure to welcome you all. Today we all are gathered here to celebrate 125th birthday of Sri Paramahansa Yogananda ji. Yogananda ji is a great guru and a yogi of India who has given the science of Kriya Yoga to the entire world. Millions of Indian and millions of Westerners, we are here to celebrate his birthday today. I seek Guruji's blessing and permission. Please speak through me. This celebration, I would like to start with a beautiful bhajan. It says that bhajan is a very, very easy way to become one with God. I request you all to be seated on your place and enjoy and go to the bliss. Thank you very much. start the presentation with a beautiful quote of Sri Paramahansa Yogananda. The greatest romance is with the infinity. You have no idea how beautiful life can be when you suddenly find God everywhere. When we come and talks to you and guides you, the romance of divine love has begun. Love gives without expecting anything in return. I never think of anything in terms of what he can do for me, and I never profess love to someone because he has done something for me. If I did not actually feel love, I wouldn't pretend to give it. And since I feel it, I give it. Love cannot be had the asking it. It comes only as a gift from the heart of another. Be certain of your feeling before you say to someone, I love you. Once you give your love, it must be forever. Not because you want to be near that person, but because you want perfection for the soul. To wish for perfection for the loved one and to feel pure joy, thinking of that soul is divine love, and that is the love of true friendship. These quotes are dedicated to the journey of our life. Actually, we all try to be in love with our life, love with our own self, love with our beloved one, so that our life can be fully, deeply, and authentically can be utilized to the maximum. Now hand over mic to the Aarti ma'am. She'll take you further.
Jai Gurudev. I would speak about Paramahansa Yogananda's childhood. Paramahansa Yogananda was born on 5th January 1893 in Gorakhpur. He was born as Mukunlal Ghosh into a devout and well-to-do Bengali family. His father Bhagwati Charan Ghosh and mother Gyan Mudra Ghosh were blessed with saintly nature. Both were disciples of great Guru Lahiri Mahashaya. I would share one small story about his childhood. When he was small baby, his mother took him to her great Guru Lahiri Mahashaya in the Banaras. The place was crowded. There was no place. It was very difficult to approach him, but mother was praying silently. She wanted the notice of her great Guru and she wanted his blessings. And it was surprise. Lahiri Mahashaya, he was in deep meditation. He called her. Really there was not place, but people made way for her and she came to him. Lahiri Mahashaya took that baby on his lap and he just blessed him. He said, little mother, thy son will be a yogi. As a spiritual engine, he will carry many souls to God's kingdom. Deeply aware of spirituality, young Mukunda showed an early inclination towards the self-realization path. One more incident I will share with you. It shows great faith and trust on the power of prayers. One small Mukunda and his sister Uma, they were standing in the balcony of their home. They watched two boys flying kites over the roofs of two buildings next to their house. Uma pushed him and asked him, why are you so quiet? He said, I am just thinking how wonderful it is that Divine Mother gives me whatever I ask. I am so blessed. Uma laughed and said, I think she would give those two kites. And she continued laughing. Mukunda said, why not? He started silent prayers to get those kites. It was a match within those boys who were cutting each other's kites. Within the fight, suddenly one string was cut and the kite flew towards Mukunda. Uma was amazed, but she was not ready to believe. She said, if you will get another kite, then I would believe on your divine mother. So she said, let's see. Mukunda again continued his silent prayer, and what a surprise. The other player also lost his kite, and the kite came to Mukunda. He gave the gift to his sister. Really, friends, if you believe in prayers, it will fulfill. Later, Yogananda passed his intermediate examination in arts from Scottish Church College, Calcutta. In 1910, at the age of 17, he met Swami Yukteswar Giri. He became his disciple and spent many years under his strict and loving discipline. Now I will hand over the mic to Deena ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. After his graduation from Calcutta University, in the year 1950, Yogananda took a vow formally and became Swami Yogananda Giri. Yogananda signifies yoga and bliss or ananda through divine union. He began his life's work with the foundation of How to Live, a school for boys, in the year 1970. The school was a special school. In this school, modern education system was coupled with combination of yoga training and instruction in spiritual ideals. This institution was visited by many eminent personalities such as Mahatma Gandhi, Rabindranath Tagore, J.C. Bose, and presidents and vice presidents of many Western countries. Mahatma Gandhi, to his visit, stated that this institution has deeply impressed my mind. One day, while Yogananda was doing meditation in his school, he had a vision. He saw a large crowd of Americans in his vision. He knew that this is the time to go to America. His guru also had once hinted him that he was destined to go to America. So in the year 1920, Yogananda went to America as a delegate to an international congress of religious liberals. A gifted orator, Yogananda's address to the gathering on the science of religion was enthusiastically received, and it marked the beginning of an upsurge in the West of the spiritual wisdom of East. Through decades, he traveled and lectured extensively, speaking to jam-packed sessions in major cities throughout America and Europe. His speeches emphasized on the unity of world's greatest religions and introduction to the soul-awakening techniques of Kriya Yoga. He is one who took yoga beyond the boundaries of India, and in the year 1925, he founded the spiritual organization called Self-Realization Fellowship in Los Angeles, United States. This was to disseminate worldwide his teachings on India's ancient practices and philosophy of yoga and its tradition of meditation. He visited back India in 1935 to meet his guru, Yukteswar Giri. He spent good amount of time with his guru, as well as he spent time with Mahatma Gandhi and many renowned spiritual figures in India. This time he was given the spiritual title of Paramahansa, meaning Supreme Swan, and that he has attained full self-realization. Again, after 1 year, he went back to USA, and in his later year of his life, he spent most of his time in seclusion and writing books and articles. And thus, in the year 1966, 1964, Sri Paramahansa Yogananda wrote his best-selling spiritual classic, The Autobiography of a Yogi. This perennial bestseller has been translated in more than 21 languages, and it has found its way into the heart of millions of readers around the world and has changed many course of their life, including many in this school. On March 7, 1952, the great Guru Sri Paramahansa Yogananda entered Mahasamadhi. A God-illumined master's conscious exit from the body at the time of physical death. This great world teacher demonstrated the value of yoga not only in his life but in his death too. At the time of his passing, an extraordinary phenomena was noticed. Even after 21 days of his death, there was no sign of physical disintegration visible on his body. On the occasion of 25th anniversary of Paramahansa Yogananda ji's Mahasamadhi, Government of India also honored his humanitarian and spiritual work by issuing a postage stamp. And again, recently, this year, on 100th anniversary of YSS, Narendra Modi ji introduced another postage stamp on 7th March 2017. Now I would like to call upon Dr. Swami.
Thank you, Leena ma'am. Before we talk about Kriya Yoga, let us talk about what is Kriya, what is yoga, why yoga. According to Bhagavad Gita, it says, Yoga, Chitta, Vritti, Dukkha, Nirodha. Yoga is nothing but union with ourselves, unity with God. Chitta is our own consciousness, our own mind. Vritti is fluctuations of our thought, fluctuations of our mind. Dukkha is nothing but our suffering. And the last come Nirodha. Nirodha is settling down, taking it away, erasing off all the suffering. So yoga is such that it takes away all the suffering from our life and it gives the peace of mind, it settles down our thoughts, tranquility of thought, it leads us to peace of mind. According to Bhagavad Gita and Patanjali, there are 108 types of yoga. And 108 types, the last one is Raja Yoga. And Raja Yoga is further divided into 108 types. Can you believe it? And the supreme, the 108th one is Kriya Yoga. Kriya Yoga is such powerful, such mesmerizing thing which can lead us to self-realization. Actually, Kriya Yoga is very, very old. It was lost till centuries and centuries. Our illuminated sages of India refound Kriya Yoga. It is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna has given in Bhagavad Gita and Yoga Patanjali has mentioned about Kriya Yoga in his sutras. It was re-given to the modern world by Mahavatar Babaji. His direct disciple, Lahiri Mahasaya, was asked to give Kriya Yoga to the common man of the world to take off the suffering of the modern world. And Yukteswar Giri, Sri Yukteswar Giri, who was the direct disciple of Sri Babaji, he has taught Kriya Yoga to Paramahansa Yogananda. and asked Paramahansa Yogananda to go to West and spread the super self-awakening technique, soul-awakening technique of Kriya Yoga to the Indians and Westerners. Kriya Yoga is actually a very, very powerful meditation technique. If you do it religiously, it enables you to get whatever you want in life. It gets very fast your spiritual awakening. It can revitalize, re-energize your organs. It will give you the peace of mind which we all are looking for. It will take you to the self-realization. Now I'll show you a small video where Sri Paramahansa Yogananda talks about what is Kriya Yoga and what it does to your body, mind and soul.
To get to the soul, get beyond the subconscious, that's the purpose of Kriya Yoga. Read your preceptor every day, a little bit, and meditate. Meditation is the practicing the presence of God. Kriya Yoga is the highest practicing the presence of God. How the soul descended into the body and how to take it back to the spine and the brain, beyond the confines and the prison of the body into the vast infinite. And that's what you are trying to do. Your mind is on the surface of the body. You like to see what is good, hear, smell, taste, touch. And that's where you are locked up. Your consciousness is locked up. But you have to withdraw it, dim it away from there, and gradually take it beyond the muscles and settle it in the spine. That's what Kriya Yoga does. Spine and the brain are the altars of God. That's where the electricity of God flows down into the nervous system, into the world. And the searchlight of your senses are turned outside, outwards. And that's why you love the senses. But when you will reverse the searchlights through Kriya Yoga and be concentrated in the spine, you will behold the Maker. 1,000 million suns do not describe the light of my Father. It is not a glaring light, but a light that is gentle and indirect, which is spread all over the world. In that light, in the glimmer of that light, all the universe you will behold as if in a mirror. So that's why do not in any way be a slave to the senses. Do not in any way be trapped by the senses. All the senses were given that you may be their master. Temptation was not given to destroy you, but to increase your strength. If you do not fight with a stronger person, you never get strength. The wrestler always fights with a stronger wrestler. So the senses, you think they are strong, but you are stronger. And if you fight with them, you will be stronger. If you give in to them, you will be weaker. And down and out, and all your happiness will be gone. God has purposely given sex and other senses not to destroy you, but to try your strength, to bring the immortal strength within, that you may recognize the great power of the infinite sphere of spirit which lies behind your little throbbing heart.
It is said that until you eat the mango, you will not know the taste of mango. You will just dream, mango tastes like this and that. So same way here, until you do little meditation, we won't be knowing what exactly it is, how we feel, how it gets the peace. Kriya Yoga is a very secretive science, is a very superior science. It should be learned from a trained guru. It cannot be learned from any book or seeing in the side, because Kriya Yoga, actual breathing, meditation is such powerful that before that you need preparation to receive the Kriya breathing. Sri Paramahansa Yogananda has developed certain energizing exercises in 1917. These exercises are psychophysical exercises which, if it is done regularly and belief, it can energize your mind and body, give total relaxation these exercises are very, very powerful. It takes you to the state of calmness and it gives you tremendous willpower. Kriya Yoga is, Swami Paramahansa Yogananda has made this Kriya Yoga entire meditation technique very simple and sahaj. With the blessing of Sri Paramahansa Yogananda ji, our beloved Guru, I would like to give you a simple breathing technique yet very, very powerful. It's called Hung Sa, or Hung means I am, myself. Sa is a spirit. In Sanskrit, it is called Aham Brahmasmi, I am the God. So let's start. We'll prepare ourselves. We'll demonstrate on the stage. As I told you, first to start with, we'll keep our back straight. Our back is like a pipe hose. If it is any bend is there, the flow of water won't happen properly. Keep your spine straight, chin up. You can do this meditation on the floor as well as on the chair also. Right foot, right leg over the left. This is Gyan Mudra, where your index finger presses your thumb. This hand, right hand, will be placed over your left hand. It's like this. Chin up. You need to close your eyes. Need to watch your breath. Watch your breath. You don't have to do forceful breathing. You will get a message. Breathe down. Now you all can feel the peace of mind. With the same breathing, we'll do with the mantra Hong Sa. As you breathe in, you have to chant mentally. Your throat, your tongue should not move. As you breathe in Hong. As you breathe out, Sa. You will get the instruction for next breathing. Watch your breath. Hong is a dissolving sound and Sa is a merging sound. Watch your breath. Meditation is a not state of doing something. Meditation is a state of being there. Watch your breath. Be conscious of your breath. As you breathe in, chant mentally Hong and breathe out with Sa. You don't have to fall asleep. Be aware of your breath. Be conscious of our breath. You feel peaceful. We'll rub our palm. I can already see the peace and self-satisfaction you have all got. This is very simple but yet very, very powerful breathing. It can accelerate your spiritual growth very fast. If by doing so simple breathing you can reach to God, you can do self-realization, why not to practice entire Kriya? Do you know in USA, you might be seeing on TV, there are so many saints or common person who is doing Kriya Yoga and they can survive without food, without water for many, many days. So powerful our Kriya Yoga is. Being Indian, we have forgotten somewhere. We must start. This breathing technique is very powerful. It can settle down your thoughts. It will give you peace of mind. Just have to do it regularly and with total belief. I thank Dr. Ghosh, Sharda ma'am and our Guru Paramahansa Yogananda ji to give us blessing to conduct this session. Now I'd like to call Dr. Ghosh.
There is a statement. Whatever lies behind us and whatever lies in front of us, that is the past behind us and the future in front of us, is nothing compared to whatever is within us. India has been the foremost in this, and there's a differentiated thinking process because of which Asiatic and the Gangetic Plains people, if you find, their thought processes are different. If you look at in relationship, in India, the boys and girls are growing up with learning to understand, learning to find the wealth in the other people, than blaming. And you and I in this journey, when we have become highly westernized today, we always find that our mind is polluted trying to be cool and look at fault of other people. So we have become like vultures now. We look at fault of other people. Whereas if we dive within, a different world comes out. And that world, the beautiful part is always there. And we are seeking for it everywhere else. That is behind us and ahead of us and outside of us. That is the mistake. So there is a young boy who was being spoken to by the professor. The professor said, "Do you believe in God?" He said, "Yes, I do." He said, "Do you believe that devil also exists?" The boy stayed silent. The professor asked again, "Does God exist?" He said, "Yes, he does." He said, "Does devil exist?" He didn't answer. Then he said, "Professor, may I ask you a question?" He said, "Yes, ask me." He said, "Does light exist?" The professor said, "Yes, light exists." He asked, "Does darkness exist?" The professor says, "Yes, it does." The young boy said, "Professor, you're wrong." He says, "Okay, one more question. Does cold exist?" He says, "Yes, it does exist. Don't you feel cold?" He asked, "Does heat exist?" Professor says, yes, it does. So the young boy said, Professor, you're wrong again. Darkness does not exist. Darkness is absence of light. Light exists. Cold does not exist. It is the heat which exists. Similarly, devil doesn't exist. It is the absence of God within us which makes us feel the presence of the devil. He said, haven't we all studied in schools and colleges on light, on heat? Have you studied darkness? Have you studied cold? Because they don't exist. It is the absence of one. Now this is the ancient Indian and principles, but most of us today are driven by the five senses outwards. Paramahansa Yogananda, like many other great masters and saints of all religion, have discussed simple processes called Sahaj Yoga. It's very simple. It's like if you have to take a 50-kilo fish, you have to catch it. You don't need a 50-kilo hook. You just need a small hook. So all the junk which is around us and within us, you can take it out and throw it away. So the darkness goes away and you're filled with light. So when Swati ma'am read out to you that yoga, chitta, duksha, vritti, nirodha, it takes away all suffering, all sicknesses, all disease, whatever troubles us. We don't like to be troubled. How does it do it? Actually, what happens is that you suddenly realize that there are two sides to the life. One is suffering, the other one is joy and ananda. One is duksha, the other one is smile, cheerfulness, blessedness. So it doesn't mean that the great masters did not do any suffering. You look at Jesus, Muhammad, Paramahansas, everybody has passed through. But what is it? To them it didn't make any difference. To them both were same. How did that happen? You look at it, a young child, supposing his marble or the ball is gone missing. Your boy, or your sister, brother's son, or daughter, or the doll is missing. And they're crying, where is my doll, where is my doll? But you are a little different level. See, you just smile. You say, I'll search for it, I'll give it to you. So what's the difference now? It doesn't mean that the ball is not gone missing. Same way, you and I are today, because we are stuck at a different level, we are not going deep within. So whatever lies within is unbelievable. And then suddenly you find, as you start to go within, that you could do things which you could not believe is possible, and people call it miracle. What is miracle? Miracle is something which otherwise is not possible. Which you do it very simply. All you do is that infinite power which is within you and me, you get connected to it. Two beautiful bungalows, both are equally equipped, furnished, have all the AC, fan, light, everything. One is connected to the MSEB. The other one is disconnected because they haven't paid the taxes. The light is cut. Where the potential is there, all they have to do is get connected. All you and I have to do is get connected. That power which is within us. The great masters warn you don't use that power, then once again you will be running behind things which are not really important. Use it only if it is for the welfare of other people. Paramahansa Yogananda is known to be someone who never created miracles. But those who have studied him deep enough, they would tell you there were lots of miracles he created. I'll give you one or two simple stories. And you know what? You and I can easily be in that world and the sufferings go away from you. And you have, which Paramahansa Yogananda used to talk about, be a smile millionaire. You're always smiling. You're very joyful. When he was very young, you heard one of the story which our master of the ceremony was talking to you about the kite. Once he was leaving for school with his cousin brother, and we went to that spot in his house. Shada ma'am and I had been there, and he suddenly recollected his bag, he has left it upstairs. So he told his brother, don't go, wait for me. I will go up, get the bag and come down. Brother said, okay, but Paramahansa Yogananda knew he is not going to wait for him. So he took his hand, and he took the hand, and he said, you stand here, and put his hand on the wall. And he went running up, and after must be a minute or two, he came down. That boy's hand is stuck there. He can't take it out. He's pulling his hand, he can't take it out. Paramahansa Yogananda, he was just a boy, must be 7, 8, 9 years old. He just came and touched his hand and said, let's go. Now, these stories are not stories, they're very simple. And you would be amazed, it is happened to all of us sometime or the other, and we didn't pay attention. Dayamata, who became the third president, the first was Paramahansa Yogananda, second was another American gentleman, Janak Maharshi. His name was Janak Maharshi. And the second thing was Dayamata. When he was giving his talk in America, he was just 22 years old. Paramahansa Yogananda. At the end of the talk, Dayamata is talking about, she was then 17 years old. She said, I have gone around, they come from strict principled church, Catholic church believers, followers. She's been asking everybody, can I see God? Can I see Jesus? Who has seen God? Nobody could answer her. She says, after listening to Paramahansa Yogananda, I realized he has seen God. And the God is with him. So she waited. Now she was not a very good looking girl. Her whole face was scarred with terrible, terrible marks. Not just pimples and things like that. Besides, deep marks. So she waited with her mother and told mother, I want to meet him. Lots of people, the hall was packed. That was his first talk. So when he was coming out, she came one step ahead, and as she knew, she bowed down. She didn't know how to do pranam. The Paramahansa Yogananda looked at her and smiled. He looked at her and he said, do you believe that these marks in your face can be healed? He just said, do you believe it can be healed? She said, now she had tried all doctors for 16, 17 years, all the Western doctors, nobody could do anything. He asked her with a smile, do you believe I can heal you? She just nodded her head. So he touched her face and he said, as thy belief goes, may that happen to thee. And he removed his hand, he said, within 6 days you will be okay. And Gyan Mata became perfectly okay. And if you see her picture, you will see she's a glowing, very pretty lady. It's just a small thing. But see, that suffering went away, whatever was causing her, and she gave her life. She left her body at the age of 98. She was president of the entire worldwide institution, visited India many, many times. What you and I need to realize, we do not have to become a monk. We do not have to run after the mountains. All we have to do is have that mountain or the cave inside of you. That stillness, that silence. In whatever you do the work, not for myself, not because of which I'm going to get some money and something. I do it because God wants it to, proclaims me to do it. Call him by any name. Call him Mother Kali, or Krishna, or Allah, or Jesus, or God, or whatever name. It doesn't matter. So Paramahansa Yogananda talked about, like Vivekananda and Ramakrishna and the great masters of the world, that all religion is one. There's only one. So we have been to all these sectors. I can assure you, when you walk into his ashram in Ranchi, which Shada Ma'am is conducting a lot of sessions for their schools and college boys and girls. The moment you walk into Mount Washington, which is where all the actors and actresses used to live. Now, Paramahansa Yogananda, he was searching a place where he could make his ashram. And by then he had collected about $30,000. Those days, $30,000 was a huge amount of money. Collected from various people's contributions, donations. And they were driving by that hotel. His co-passenger was his secretary, called a German lady, Sister Pat. She said, Pat, wait. Let's go inside. She said, you can't go inside. You will be arrested. That's a place highly security loaded for the top film actors and actresses. But he said, okay, you go inside. You go and ask them, are they interested in selling this place? She reluctantly went and came out and said, no, Gurudev, they're not ready to sell. He said, okay, find out who's the owner. Get the telephone number and come. So she did that and came back. He asked the gentleman owner, he says, I can give it to you for $35,000. He agreed to sell. And he had only $30,000. So next morning and that night he meditated and he asked the Divine Mother, God, I need $5,000. He got a message, ask that lady who was joined yesterday, she'll give it to you. He said, how can I ask? She just joined me yesterday, she doesn't know anything about what am I doing. How can I ask that question? He didn't ask. Again in the evening meditation, next morning, again he got the message, ask that lady. He still didn't ask. On the third day, that lady rang him up and said, Gurudev, I am here for 3 days. Do you think I have future in this place? He said, of course you do. All you have to do is practice and believe it within yourself. She said, Gurudev, I want to contribute $5,000. May I please have your permission? Now this world seems to you and me like stories. What I'm saying, it is there. Like all of us are here, it's a miracle. There was no way. Yesterday and today when I was talking to Shraddha ma'am, I was talking to Jaya ma'am yesterday, Vishwajit sir. By the way, Jaya ma'am came out with a statement at Ravi Farm when the MYP started and things like that. She said, sir, we had only 17 teachers in MYP. Now, I don't know, Shada ma'am knows all these numbers. I said, by the way, how many are there today? She said, close to 87. Now, how did that happen? So all we do is we believe in the supreme power. We make sure that every day we follow that simple process of getting connected within. And that supreme powerhouse, which is you in me, we forget about it. Don't forget about it. Try to get connected every day. You have to invest a little time. If you want peace and happiness and joy, just get connected. And you will certainly find people around you, everybody, their sufferings and sicknesses and disease will start to go away and progressively become stronger and stronger, and you will have absolute faith that it would be so. There is no other way, and you will find a different world opened up. India, Bharat is famous for that. Worldwide people, it's amazing if you go down to America and Mount Washington, which is a Hollywood, walk into that place, it's stacked with at least 6,000 American monks who are there and who are writing about India, who are writing about what is meditation, who is writing about what is ayama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi, and you and I know nothing about it. That wealth is within you and me. Just make a simple prayer. God, Guru, whatever name you believe in, simple prayer with sincerity. I don't know how to seek you. I do not know how to seek that power from within. Would you please help me? That's it. Just watch how things will start to happen. Say that every day. Believe in it. Paramahansa Yogananda says, why does affirmation work? Affirmation is a prayer, believing in that. He says, because human beings' words are very powerful. We speak words just like that. And gossip, gossip, gossip. That is quarrel. That is nonsensical. It has got no meaning. But if you speak with willpower, with faith, with belief, and with concentration, then your words are powered by the supreme consciousness which has created the rainforest, the desert, the mountain Himalaya, the ocean, and people like you and me and all the animals and the plants of the world. Same consciousness gets connected through your power because you believe. So what did Jesus say? Jesus healed lots of people. What did he say? He said, as thy belief goes, may that happen to thee. Same word as Paramahansa Yogananda said. To whom a person who is blind for all their life suddenly started seeing. A person who was bedridden suddenly got up and started walking. A person who was dead got up and started working. These things are there. God has given you and us. We've forgotten about it. It's like, is it possible you will not use your eyes anymore? Is it possible you will not use your hand? Or you say, from today onwards, I'll not use my leg, I'll just sit down and lie down. No, because these are physical assets, so we use them. What about that powerhouse within? Why not use them? So, take on a simple drive. Should you feel so, don't do it just because you say, let's check it out. Why check it out? It is so. You do it only when the drive comes from within. It will come, otherwise we will not sit here and talk today. I wish you a very merry day and a happy journey.
Thank you, sir. as a teacher, we must talk about Sri Yogananda ji today in the class, and we must practice meditation for some time. Thank you very much.